Hello everybody, welcome back to the last video of the weekend for this weekend. So this particular aircraft is also one of my personal favorite Vietnam era jets as well. This is the Vought F-8 Crusader, one of the most iconic supersonic multi-role carrier-based fighters during the time. And this was the first aircraft ever that went over 1,000 miles per hour, way faster than any other aircraft at the time. Made its first flight on March 25th, 1955, and it already passed supersonic. When he tested the plane for the first time, it went way supersonic, faster than anything else at the time. And this was on July 16, 1957. A future astronaut, his name was John Glenn. He set a transcontinental speed record, coast-to-coast speed record, streaking from Los Angeles, California, all the way to New York in 3 hours and 23 minutes and 8.3 seconds, which that's incredible for a plane that fast. While the Crusader was breaking, and it was called Project Bullet, while the Crusader was breaking every record in the book, they were going to aim something even higher. And this was going to be the ultimate air superiority fighter. It was actually called the Vought XFAU-3, Crusader 3, or also nicknamed the Super Crusader. And it had ventral fins in the bottom of the tail for transonic speeds. And it had a different engine, because this particular engine that has on here is the Pratt & Whitney J57 turbojet engine, but on that one had the Pratt & Whitney J75 engine that was going to propel the aircraft beyond Mach 3. But unfortunately, it was canceled because it just didn't live up to the expectations. The F-4 Phantom had took over. And the F-8 Crusader came to the Vietnam War at the right time. It was the most iconic aircraft in Vietnam. Like, it was the plane that would protect the vulnerable bombers from North Vietnamese MiGs, and it was used to be nicknamed the MiG Master. Like the Crusader was well respected by North Vietnamese pilots. There was one occasion when a pilot had to jump out of it, when a North Vietnamese pilot had to jump out of his aircraft when he saw the Crusader closing in, which that's interesting. That's amazing. Even though we didn't have any aces who flew Crusaders, but there were a lot of pilots that shot them down. There were a few Crusader pilots who were prisoners of war as well. Like Orson G. Swindle #3, who was a Marine Crusader pilot. Most of those Marine Corps Crusaders were mostly based in Da Nang Air Base in South Vietnam as well. One of my favorite stories about the F Crusader is one time when there was another pilot, a naval pilot named Richard Shafford, whom, when he used all of the weapons that the Crusader had, they all completely didn't miss, failed, they jammed. He managed to somehow outmaneuver the MiG-17's aircraft and went back to his carrier somehow, which that's incredible. And I've seen the Crusader at the Intrepid Sea and Space Museum. It's the best supersonic fighter ever. And it has these variable incidence wings that could pitch up 70 degrees and act as a speed brake to reduce landing speed. In 1987 was the last time that the Crusader was in U.S. service before he officially retired, which was the RF-8 Crusader, which was like a photo reconnaissance version. They said the F-8 Crusader's first combat sortie was actually during the Cuban Missile Crisis in Cuba, which they were able to fly low and very fast to take photographs of the Soviet missile sites that were in Cuba. There were only 2 countries that had purchased some F-8 Crusaders: the Philippine Air Force, and the French Navy and the French Naval Air Service. Like, the French had these Crusaders until they retired in 1999, and I think it retired, I think, somewhere in the early 1990s. The Philippines, that had their Crusaders as well. But I love the F-8 Crusader. It's just the best fighter ever during the time in Vietnam. Anyway, thank you guys so much for the video, and see you next time.